Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca from Becca Books and Bujo, and today I am flipping through my second ever bullet journal with you. I started bullet journaling in May of 2018, and hopefully you saw my first video where I flipped through my first bullet journal video. If not, I'll link it up above. But here is my second bullet journal. It's in a Leuchtturm 1917 A5 dotted journal, and it's in this bluish green color. And let's just jump right into it. Here I had a key, and I did do really well at filling in my index. I kept track of like the main color for each month, and then I color coordinated on the side of the pages. So if I really wanted to easily find June, I knew it was this orange side. So I really liked that, and I liked having my index completely filled in. And then here was my 2019 setup. So this journal ran from January of 2019 through July of 2019, so it fit 7 months. And I took a lot of this bullet journal setup idea from Amanda Rach Lee here on YouTube. She is one of the most famous bullet journalers here on YouTube. So here is my future log. And I accented each of the months with the color that I used for that theme for the month. And then you can see here, I only got through July, so I didn't fill out the rest of the colors for August through December. I always like to participate in this year it was 19 for 2019, that Gretchen Rubin does on her Happier podcast. And so this year it's 21 for 2021, but there are 19 things, kind of bigger goals that I would like to accomplish within the year. And so I did pretty well just at the start of 2019, the first 7 months. Here is passwords and monthly bills. And then I liked to do Miracle Morning, and here are the list of affirmations that I said to myself during the Miracle Morning, and tracking my weight loss journey. But I said better luck next year because this is the year that I got pregnant with our son Theo. So I wasn't able to lose any weight. I was supposed to gain it. Here I kept track of books that I read. I did like this bookshelf idea, but with the amount of books I read, it just got to be too much. So I stopped doing that in my current bullet journal. And then movies and shows that I wanted to watch, and I filled in the bubble once I did. This quote page is taken directly from Amanda Rach Lee, and then a need and a want list. Obviously, I didn't fill up so much of those, so I made these pages smaller in my future bullet journals. I like to participate in the Modern Mrs. Darcy reading challenge every year, and so she encourages you to read 12 books from kind of a variety of areas, and so I listed out the prompts here and then the books that I decided to read for that challenge. And then we start off with the month of January, and this journal is heavily influenced by Amanda at Amanda Rach Lee. She did this in her 2018 journal, I believe, and I just loved how the fireworks looked. So I use her for a lot of the themes. She has some great themes that are very easy to doodle, and for me, who is not the best artist, I don't think, I can copy a lot of her easier doodles fairly well, I think. So that's how January turned out. Here is my calendar page. I kept track of my habits in more of a monthly little trackers, and then I kept track of my mood over on the right side. Here I had a page for gratitude, and then a brain dump, and then I liked to keep track of the reading just like I do nowadays. This quote is Anne Bogle says it at the end of her podcast, at the end of What Should I Read Next every week. How good it is to be among people who are reading. That I think it's from Raina Maria Rilke. I hope I'm saying that name right. Anyway, here is my first weekly for the month of January. And then here I really got into the habit of doing a one-page kind of dashboard for the week that had events and to-do lists and such. And then I set up dailies on the next 3 pages. So you'll see that pattern going forward. This week I went to Jacksonville for a work conference, and so I journaled for those days. And then we are getting into February, which again is the heart theme from Amanda. And here is my calendar, monthly trackers, and mood tracker, very similar to the one in January. And then here I added a hope log along with a gratitude log, so where I saw something hopeful in the day. And again, my reading tracker, and on to the weeklies. Here I wanted to do some time tracking. So I took this idea from Boho Berry, and it was fun, I guess. I eventually die off of time tracking a little later, but it's interesting to look back on. I fell down the stairs. I don't remember that, but ouch. Here I did a little Dutch door so I could see all my events at the top of the page. And then we're on to March, which was this leaf kind of palm frond theme. Here I did kind of a hybrid between a monthly calendar and a vertical calendar that is typical of the bullet journal community, I suppose. And I tried it. I did not really like it. As you can tell in my normal bullet journal, or in my current bullet journal, I like to have the whole calendar set out for me. Here was a tracker, my horizontal one in this case, and then I did a little mood tracker that involved drawing leaves. So kept track of my mood by coloring in the leaves, and reading was over on this side. Gratitude and hope and brain dump. And then here, I did just 3 days in this week. But here I got into having a whole 2-page spread being my weekly dashboard, and then having as many pages as I needed for daily to-do lists. I also did a doodle a day challenge this year. I can't remember who hosted it, but it was really fun. I thought I did really well on these doodles, even though I'm not much of a doodler. Here I did a 30-day impulse buy challenge, so tried not to buy things on impulse, and it ended up being more like 50 days instead of 30 days, but that's okay. And then here was a library loans spread, which I still use in my bullet journal today. Another weekly. And my doodles. I guess I was feeling sick, so wanted to let her in that sleep heals. My last weekly in March. We move on to April. This theme was inspired by Caitlin at Sunshine and Stationery. She loves her copper pens, and so I decided to get one of those and try it out for this month. I did like them, but I found that there was so much transfer onto pages when you wrote over them, so I don't really use them very often anymore, but here are my monthly pages, and we're on to a weekly. And again, I kept this weekly dashboard with 2 pages and then daily to-do lists for a while. Here I started a skincare and iron tracker, which you'll see in the future month. I add it to my monthly habit tracker, and my habit tracker gets huge. So you'll see that in a second. Went back to time tracking here. And here we get to May, which is a lavender theme, again from Amanda. And here, look at this huge tracker. These were things that I liked to do in the morning. These are things just kind of throughout the day. This was, I guess, cleaning and TV and books read or like how many pages read, and then these were things that I tried to do in the evening. And I did a mood tracker down here, reading. So I also did 1 line a day here, which was a little journaling, and then gratitude and hope logs on the right. Kept track of water and a meal plan, and lists and notes over on the right side. And then instead of doing weekly dashboards here, I used these pages a lot more. Like these were where I kept track of tasks and kept track of water and everything, where I used to do that on the weekly level. And now I just had all of my dailies right in a row. So, except for my Duolingo tracker. I was learning Spanish at this point. So yeah, all of my dailies are here right in a row, just separated by a thin piece of washi tape. Oh, and then this week I went to visit my nephew Soren. He was born, I should have pointed that out. He was born, where is it? April 9th. So Soren is born. And so I journaled while I was out visiting him for the first time. And then another Duolingo tracker. I made it onto the next level or whatever they're called. And here is the month of June. Again, inspired by Amanda. I have my calendar, a big monthly to-do list, and then here was where I kept track of like how I wanted to get through my 19 for 2019. So some of them were bigger, and I broke them down into smaller things. And here was my habit tracker, reading log, and mood tracker. Kept the 1 line a day and gratitude and hope log. Kept this water and meal plan and list of notes. And then this year, in this month, I partook in the letter size, which I think was a letter a day. And so I left a lot of space for all of these letterings. I think in the future I just go to 1 page per day. So you'll see that as we move forward. This was a little hint for me, but I didn't want anybody else to know because my family always looked at my bullet journal and loved to see. But this was the day I took a pregnancy test and found out that we were pregnant with our son, Theo. So that's kind of a fun little hint for me. And then here I added a little doodle of that he was the size of an orange seed. And here he was the size of a sweet pea. And obviously I stopped doing my to-do lists. I don't know what was going on in this month that I wasn't making lists. Oh, I was just so busy with day camp and stuff that I knew what I had to do, and I must have like missed a few days here. So Theo was a little size of a blueberry. And then I made this little baby on the way spread, so I kept track of like symptoms and weight, and then any notes also. And I had to move this on into my next bullet journal because, again, this journal only went through July. So in my next journal, I have August through February, which he was born in January 30th, so I didn't even need February. And here is the last month in this journal, which is July 4th. So red, white, and blue themed, the flag theme. And again, had this huge tracker, kept track of my mood in stars, and reading. And then here I tried a master task list, split into homework, and this is I had a small part-time job. It was like 10 hours a week, where I helped connect volunteers to people in need in our community, and so that was a little list that I kept there. And then I'm back to this daily, this 1-page week dashboard and then dailies. Again, here's my little raspberry doodle of how big Theo was at that point. I was 8 weeks pregnant on July 2nd. Sorry if you hear a siren in the background. We have a siren that goes off in our town at noon and at 10 p.m. every single day, so that's that noise. Anyway, on to another weekly. Here he was the size of a kumquat. And then here I tried something different. I did my first Alistair method with a task list. I kept track of my time all in one little section here, and then events, water, meals, this kind of a dashboard. And I don't think I ended up liking it, but then this week I took a bunch of youth to Indianapolis for a mission trip, and so I just basically journaled for all of these days. It's nice to have this to look back on because I don't really remember that time very well. So now we're just into the end of the journal, some like testing pages and such. I did September in my next bullet journal and wanted to test out how I would do the cover page. These were some notes from our trip. Getting ready for my next bullet journal. These were some graduation parties that we went to. Here was a continuation, possibly, of 52 books in 52 weeks. I must have started using this and then moved on to this. I don't know what I was doing here. Kept track of Willie's books for him. He wanted to know how many books he'd read that year. And then here are just testing pages. I used Boho Berry's lettering and wanted to learn that. I think she calls it carefree lettering, and so I really liked that. A grid spacing page. Here were my Tombow swatches and all my pen swatches. So that is the end of my second ever bullet journal. Again, this journal goes from January of 2019 through July of 2019. So I hope you guys enjoyed this journal and this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up down below and comment down below which theme was your favorite if you liked. Here, I'll go through them quickly. If you liked the January fireworks theme, the February love or heart theme, the March leaf theme, the April very simple blue and gold, the May lavender theme, the June lemonade theme, or like fruit theme, or the July 4th flag theme. Let me know which one was your favorite, and thank you so much for watching. Bye everyone!